Guys, for our top 8 finalists for Season 4 of the Sento Showdown, listed as follows. Tied for 7th place again, the combination of Sean Slayer and Blind Press. Tied for 5th is going to be Rattlehead and Casual Ray. In 4th, Prince J. And then our top 3 finalists, 3rd place taking bronze, TJ the Blind Gamer. Vision taking 2nd place. And then our Season 4 Sento Showdown champion, Baron Sun. Giant combination of very, very close competitive matches for all of these competitors to make it into today after not only their prelim competition yesterday, but their stacked brackets as of today. Again, our prize pools are going to be a combination of a total of $365 total in the prize pool, at least as it stands right now. Baron Sun will be winning a Battle Beaver controller. No Vision will be getting that custom MK mask of his choosing, and TJ the Blind Gamer will be getting the Scorpion Funko Pop.
Congrats. And also don't forget that the prize pool is split just like any other major tournament. 75% first place, 50% second place, and 25% third place. And with that said, while we wait here for Vision to join, Captain, do you want to kind of get started with our special guest this for the evening? Because I know that he's busy. He's a hardworking voice professional out there. So we also don't want to make sure we waste his time. So Captain, take it away.
Thank you for joining us, Vic. I just wanted to introduce us. I am Carlos. I do go by Captain Earshot. We do have on the call with us Kevin, another one of our fellow volunteers for this year, as well as my tocayo, as we use the word in Spanish when you share the same name as someone else in the Latino community. So Carlos, that is Rattlehead, our host of the night and competitor, fellow of top 8 placer. And then the rock stars of the night, of course, the 2 grand finalists being Baron Sun, Alex Vasquez, and No Vision, Elijah May, both of them doing their absolute best to make it into that top 8 final. And they're here. We just wanted to share a little time with you. Thank you for the work that you do in Mortal Kombat 1. It's especially something's really nice for us because as we sort of live life through sound primarily, we put a lot of stock in voice acting. No pressure there, but we love what you all do as a craft because it brings images to life. It tells us a lot about what the characters are feeling and what are their experiences, and I think it's just such a treat to be able to talk to you about a little bit about that. In particular, maybe I can get us started as people just kind of think of questions to share. I'm personally curious, like the way that we're introduced to you is through this avenue of video gaming, and you probably have some questions for the finalists themselves. But maybe you can share like what is it like being in the booth and being told like, oh, this is one take, let's do another one, and you're putting empathy and all the different emotions that these characters have. What is it like to play Kenshi for you?
I will say it's like, I give so much credit to Ed Boon and Dominic Cencolo, and Dominic is, Ed Boon, of course, is the head of everything. Dominic, I refer to him as the architect because the man writes the scripts and he directs the sessions. And what we're doing so much of the time is just trusting Dominic's vision, because because we're recording all our lines individually, and Dominic's the one who's got the ear, over everything, and he's the one who makes sure that my dialogue to Johnny Cage still feels cohesive and connected, even though we may have recorded them several days apart and in a totally separate from each other. So I will say that Dominic is just an amazing director and writer, and he's the glue that keeps it all together. That said, what's it like? I seriously, I look forward to every session. I love the writing. I think it makes me laugh out loud a lot of times, and I really appreciate that each character has their own personality and stuff like that. So it's a great honor. I love voicing Kenshi in Mortal Kombat.
Awesome, and we love you for it. I think you bring such a such a unique perspective and tone of voice to the character. to many of the characters in the MK franchise. I know we do have No Vision, Elijah joining us as well. So hopefully your mic situation is all good.
Yes, I'm here.
Yes, awesome. All right. Well, definitely I want to let both of our finalists kind of weigh in, and if you have questions for them, Vic, definitely. I know we sort of talk about. You've probably heard in passing how many of the blind players in this scene sort of develop their skills and stuff, and we invite you to if there are any questions that you have about how this works, they are definitely able to answer those questions for you.
You know, I was sitting in on some of the stream, and I was just like watching the combat. I was just like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. I would love to know from both No Vision and Baron Sun, when you guys are playing and it's going really well, like you are just in that mode, like in the zone, what does it feel like for you? I'll ask No Vision first, and then I'll ask Baron. Would love to just hear what it feels like for you when things are going well, when you're in the middle of combat.
Going well. I'm kind of an overthinker, so when it comes to like things going well, I try to keep it that way and try to stay like in the like right mentality in the right mindset of it. Things to like try to control like the game where I'm facing. But I have a hard time doing that really because I tend to overthink, and that's something I'm still like trying to work on for myself. But like usually I just go with the flow. But I forget. I just I'm sorry. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I usually just tend to overthink when I'm in the flow of things, and that I'm sorry, I'm confused.
No, it's okay. You got it.
and no problem.
Like I'm talking to Goro. I'm sorry. I know you know. I'm talking to Goro. Four-arm Big Daddy Goro. Like and you talk exactly like it. You're like, I'm freaking out. I don't know what to say. I don't have the script and I prepare for this. I'm sorry, but yeah, to get over it with, I just go with the flow. I like it depends. It really depends. It's really character dependent, right? Because everyone plays like each character differently. So that's one of the things like you just have to adjust to. Once you adjust to it, then that's when you just like in the zone of play style or so. But that's just me.
Okay, cool. And believe me, when you talk about overthinking things, like overthinking things is my life. So
Yeah.
so don't worry about it. Yes, I'm constantly overthinking things. So I do get you there.
All right, Baron Sun, you with us?
Yeah, I'm here. So for me, I just try to make the right reads of what my opponent's gonna do. Try to play the spacing game. If they don't have any long-reaching normals, I just try to space them out. Try to get the hit confirms down, and just try to get a read on what they want to do each time I get a knockdown or something, or I get a combo. What's the next thing that's gonna happen? It's like playing chess, you know. You got to think like 2-3 steps ahead when you're fighting, and then some people have different playstyles, so you gotta learn how to adapt really quickly to different playstyles. So it also helps that I play a lot of different games, I think, because some games are played differently than others. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Cool. Thank you very much. Thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. I appreciate it.
Kevin, did you have a question for our guest?
What was I mistaken hearing earlier that the whole reason this came together was that Vic had reached out to you guys to help out with this?
I think the official story is that Vic's good friend Alan was hanging out in one of another blind streamer's chat, and he just kind of took interest in the setting of how do blind players work, and Alan's actually one of the voice actors for MK1 as well, right? Is that right, Vic? He plays
he's the voice of Shang Tsung, and honestly, if I had to pick one character, one voice actor that I thought did the most amazing job. I honestly would take Alan Lee's Shang Tsung. I think his voice is just, his voice acting is amazing in that. But yes, Alan was the person who told me about this.
I'm sorry, not Megan Fox.
We're not gonna get into that. No, but I do want to tell you, Vic. So this is Carlos, the other Carlos. I'm Rattlehead. I've been on the scene for a very long time in the fighting game community. When the thing about I remember when so Kenshi's been around since the early 2000s, and I've always been a huge fan of Mortal Kombat. So when they introduced the blind character, now I know they didn't do it because of me, right? But it's one of those things that, because I was, a lot of us were playing the game. I don't know how it's for other people, but it was, that. And so, but when you started voicing the character, like in MKX, and how you took in that character, even with the blind jokes, you know what I mean? I thought that was like so cool, because, you understood what it is. And of course, like that quote from Mortal Kombat 1 with Kitana, like it's probably one of my favorites. I probably can speak for a lot of people in that regard, because it's like, hey, that's it reflects how some of us feel about our condition, right? Like we don't want pity, right? We want to do things the way, we do things like everybody else with the right, tools and everything. So, so I mean, it's an honor to have you, to be able to be a part of this, the Sento Showdown. It gives it more meaning to what we do. We've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years now, and just to have you here is great. It is, as far as how we play, I would tell you that we basically depend on the sound team at NRS, which obviously you work with them. And I actually got to work on Mortal Kombat 1 myself. I did the consulting for accessibility along with rest in peace, Mr. Brandon Cole. And so getting to work with them and kind of understand how it goes behind the scenes, right? Like, everything, and how even they put together the voice lines and everything is just so cool to learn that. So, but yeah, I think like with your presence here, it gives the Sento Showdown meaning even further than what we were doing this whole time. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of share that with you.
No, thank you so much. It really genuinely makes me feel so warm, like in my chest, just hearing you say that. So thank you. Stan Lee had. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No,
please finish.
I
was looking for the magical pause. It's like those like Zoom things. Like, no, you go. No, all of you. Please finish your thought.
Oh, I would just remember Stan Lee had this wonderful quote where he like felt like what he was doing didn't matter because other people were being doctors and whatever, scientists and stuff, and he's like, and I draw comics, but then it occurred to me that like, what I do is important to these people because it matters to them, and it really makes a difference to them, it gives them a break, and so hearing you talk about what Sento means to you, just it's very gratifying. So thank you. I remember in Final Fantasy, it's a wonderful game to be a part of. But we released Final Fantasy VII Remake. I voiced the character of Song just during the pandemic, and I had all these people just tell me how Final Fantasy kept them sane during this time. So it's wonderful hearing the personal perspective that you're sharing of what my work and our work at Mortal Kombat means to you. So thank you very much for that.
I do want to give the finalists an opportunity to maybe make a question. If you've thought about something you'd like to ask our distinguished guest here, now is your chance. Maybe we can start with No Vision.
I might have a couple. I'm sorry. I just want to clarify. You are also the face of Kenshi, right?
Yes, I'm also the voice of Kenshi. Yeah.
I'm sorry. So the face and voice of Kenshi.
Not so much.
Oh, he's asking about the motion capture. Yeah.
The motion capture.
I did not do the motion capture for Kenshi or Goro. Just the voices for them.
Okay, I understand.
And with Goro, they put me through a filter. just go around
Yeah.
as slow as I can go. Like that.
That's
Okay,
awesome.
gotcha. I figure I can imagine how it would be voice and Trevor though. So
What's really fun is you do that voice, but then they put the filter in your earphones at the exact same time in real time. So you're going down here, but then you hear the Goro voice in your headset, and you just feel like the greatest voice actor in the history of the world. even though it's the computer filter that's doing so much of that work, but it makes you feel like you're incredible. So.
technology. Okay, gotcha. My other question is this is the question I've been thinking about like preparing like what to like ask them and like slowly like main thing I thought about like what got I'm not sure if you asked this already because you were like talking when I got here, so I kind of like I'm kind of late to things, but what made you do the got into get the role of Kenshi? I wanted to know like what did you also work with visually impaired people to like I know it's just a voice acting role you partake do, but like I know lots of people like to do specific characters that they are that they're naturally that they naturally are like used to like. I'm not sure if you like have experience with visually impaired people. I know you're asking questions about how we play and all, but it might be you might did work in a different field with us. So I just want to know like what actually like got you to playing like this blind role, or if working with blind people had anything to do with that.
Oh, interest. That's a really interesting question. Um, I I will admit that I did not interact with blind people in preparation for my role of Kenshi. When I first booked Kenshi, I was just so freaking out about the whole thing. Um, and it being a voice role, I confess I had not actually interacted with blind people, but that's actually a really good point, and that might be something that I want to do in the future, just to um, flesh him out as thoroughly as possible. Interestingly, I do remember for for a scene where I was playing for it was for that play Butterflies Are Free. Um, and I remember meeting up with a blind woman and her taking me around and showing me how she lives and stuff like that, so that I could understand that, and and that was fascinating. And I learned so much. And I also remember like walking into a wall really hard because she was teaching me to walk with the cane, and she was telling me to like speed up, and she's like it'll work, just trust the cane, trust the cane, and then like I remember smacking into the wall, and that really hurt. But other than that part, that was a very valuable experience.
Gotcha. I'm sorry. I just have one more question.
Of course.
Okay. I asked if you could do a dialogue for me.
Okay,
Can you
sure.
say one thing for me? I'm sorry. Can you
Sure.
give me your best? Oh my.
Like as in George Takei?
Yes, I'm sorry. Like your Kenshi, like your voice, it's like a way younger version, like in his 20s. So I will definitely
That's
love to hear that.
that's here. Okay, I will try to do justice to George Takei.
Thank you.
Oh my.
Thank you so
and
much. I
and
appreciate this.
and a little story about George Takei. It's funny because even before I was an actor, I was an engineer and everything, and people actually would tell me, you sound like George, like Sulu, and I'd be like, warp speed, Captain.
Oh
and
yeah, dude, it does.
You honestly do. It's so great.
and so then I actually played the young version of George Takei in this movie called Money Fight. And so like like he's the regular star in that movie, but they had a flashback scene, and so they cast me as as his younger character.
That is awesome.
And they introduced me to him. They said, "Oh, George, this is Vic Chao. He's going to be playing the younger version of you." And and he looked at me and he smiled and he said, "Looking at you, I feel so young and handsome."
That is amazing.
Thank you very much.
I appreciate you for asking my questions and taking the time for being here and participating. Also, doing the intro for the Mortal Kombat Sento Showdown, and acknowledging us and spreading awareness that us blind players are capable of doing certain things and stuff, because like it's a lot of lack that we. I mean, we're pretty big in the community, but it's a lot in the community that people is not aware of. Like, hey, like it's blind players and stuff like that. So like. Either way, I appreciate your support, and I appreciate you for asking my questions and voicing a terrific character in Mortal Kombat and being aware of blindness. So I really appreciate you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Honestly, it's an honor, and I'm learning so much about this community that I didn't know existed on it. To be honest, until a few months ago when Alan told me about it, I was like, oh, this is so cool. So thank you for all the things that I'm learning.
Thank you so much. It's very understandable. Trust me. I've only been blind for going on 5 years now, and all of this was new to me at first too. I was amazed too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, No Vision.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you, No Vision. Baron, you wanna? Do you have any questions? Anything you curious about?
So I heard that you were on 24. Is that true?
Yes.
How's that?
It's fun. It's fun. It's such a test. Like, it's such a adrenaline. It's such an adrenaline ride. Everything. The whole show is just all about adrenaline and stuff like, and testosterone and there when I do normal on-camera acting, you sort of want to keep your energy level at a grounded level so you can still be in control. But with 24, it's actually really fun because you can let your adrenaline just go wild with it. Some of my favorite times were like scoping out an apartment complex with Kiefer Sutherland and getting to ride in a helicopter for the first time in my life, and I was like, this is the coolest thing ever. So yeah, it was 24 was a really good time.
Okay, I think that's all I wanted to know. I'm not really sure what else to ask, to be honest.
That's fine. I just wanted to tell you that I really enjoyed watching you guys battle it out, and you guys are freaking amazing. I want to shout out Susan Eisenberg and Erika Ishii. They totally nailed the characters that I play. Yeah,
they're so good.
Absolutely. They're so strong.
Well, with that, I want to just wrap us up here. And yes, Vic, you are sort of helping us kick off our unofficial conversations with combatants here, for if we're throwing around titles for things like this. But I think it's such a treat to have you on. I think grand finalists really have an incentive here to play their best. And you being the bonus prize is just the cherry on top. I think I speak for everyone when I say that. Our volunteers this tournament really rests on the back of people like yourself who are volunteering your time. So thank you, Kevin, for joining us. Thank you, Katani, Rorschach, and Pneumonia D in the chat. Thank you to the rest of the team that are also competitors, talented competitors as well as organizers. Gable, who has been instrumental in setting up this meeting with you. I want to shout out Gable, who has been working really hard. He wrote the script that he created the vision of our trailer for this year.
It's great.
And I know, he was looking very much forward to qualifying to be a part of this conversation. So I just want to hold that space and say on his behalf to you that this is very meaningful to him as well, for just lending your voice to the cause and your support. So with that, yes, thank you all for joining us for this season 4 finale of the Sento Showdown in 2024. I can speak for everyone when I say that this has been our best year yet. Congratulations to everyone who made it into the top 8. Thank you to everyone else who participated, and we will see you in the upcoming year.
Thank you, everybody.
Vic, thank you.
Thank you for joining us.
Credits appear. Special thanks to Diane H., Janissary, Kevin M. Colon,
Sento
The Blind
Showdown.
FGC, TQT 1995, Vic Chao, The Sento Showdown Team, Baron Son, Blindside Blue, Captain Earshot, KH Rattlehead, Your Sins, Sento Showdown Volunteers, Hisashi69, Kitanye, Pneumonia D, Rorschach the Brave. Subscribe and follow us on at Sento Showdown on YouTube, at Sento Showdown on Twitter, thesentoshowdown.com.